Hey guys, it's Editor Minister again from Semani Enterprise Tutors, and in our last tutorial videos about getting the consonants, the vowels, the length, and also the white spaces in a string. I remember telling you guys at the end of the video that we're going to be using that concept to build a password checker. Okay, now this is a screenshot gotten from apple.com. This is when you want to create your new Apple ID. Okay, so now I just screenshotted this, but then the major thing is your password must have 8 or more characters, upper and lower case letters, at least one number. Okay, so we're going to be using these three conditions, and then we're going to be coming up with a program, a password checker that's going to do something exactly like this. And then probably afterwards we are going to do the confirm password, or probably in this video where you have to also confirm your password to, then we're going to ensure that the two what's it called now, the two strings are the same. Okay, so firstly we're going to have this by the side. Okay, so I'm not going to close it, and then we're just going to start a new Java class file. So I've created a new Java class file called password checker.java, and please do not forget that I'm going to be having my tutorial codes on my GitHub repository. So if you feel too lazy to type or the codes are too long, you can always just go to my GitHub repository, get into the src folder, and then just pick the Java class file that you want. You can always copy and paste your ID and then tweak as much as you like. Okay, so if you have been following along, you know that we always need a scanner object to get input from the user on the console. So scanner my scanner, okay, is equals to new scanner. Alright, so scanner my scanner is equals to new scanner. Okay, so system.in. Okay, so I don't know why she's slow now. Responding. Okay, system.in. Let's just give it a few more minutes. Okay. Alright, and then the next thing we're going to do is have a string called password. Okay, and then we're just going to create a string password. Alright, now we're going to be using a do while loop. So in case you did not follow my video for the do while loop, I'm going to be dropping a tutorial link below where you can always get it. So do, alright, do while. Alright, now one of the things I want to do in this do while loop is that we want to first print and then print system.out.println, enter your password. Okay, so we can just display something here that gives the user a little bit information. So we can just write password checker v1.0. Alright, so we can start from there, or just password checker 1.0. So enter your password, and then the next thing we're going to be using is password is equals to scanner dot, not that scanner but a scanner now, my scanner then dot next line, or dot next instead. Okay, alright, so dot next. So we're going to be needing 3 boolean variables. Okay, so those boolean variables are going to be used. So boolean, what's the first one? 8 characters. Boolean 8 or more characters, and then the next one we're going to be needing is upper and lower case letters. So upper and lower case letters, and then the next one we're going to be using is that we're going to call this at least 1 digit. Okay, so by default these all are false. Okay, so by default those are all false. So do while. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to say do while, and then we're going to say 8 or more characters will be equals to check, just copy this and then check this, and then we're going to pass in the password as the parameter. Okay, so that will be 1, and then uppercase will also have its own, and then we're just going to check that password as the argument, and then the next one we're going to have is at least 1 digit. Okay, so this will be set to true inside of the method if all these conditions are met. Okay, alright, so do while if any of these conditions are false, do while not this, or. So in order for us to get the or, I'll just bring out my on-screen keyboard. Okay, I'll just bring out my on-screen keyboard right here, and then get the or symbol. Alright, okay, so that is enough. The next thing I'm going to be needing is do while. So this is not, so this means that if this is false, okay, and then I'm going to be needing this. Then I'm going to put a not here. So if that is false, I want this to be a loop until all these are true. Okay, so this must all be true. Do this is not, or this is not, or this is not. Okay, so I'm going to put this there. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to be needing is to create a method. So I'll just hover and click the create method. That creates the method automatically. Create method, and then I would come here and then just create the method. Okay, now this is check list at least 1 digit. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to say if, alright, if password dot contains. Alright, I think what we're going to do is first we're going to use a loop. Okay, before doing if password dot contains, we're going to use a loop. I'm going to loop through all the whole string in the password. So counter less than password dot length, and then we're going to say counter plus plus. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to say if, okay, if password the car at counter. Okay, so we're going to remove this. Okay, so this gives us the particular letter at a particular position. So we're going to use the character method that says is digit now. Okay, so if is digit, if we can get 1 digit, if we can get just 1 digit, what we're going to do is we're going to say return true, else you return false. Okay, or we can turn this to a true. Okay, and then here we're just going to return false, and then we're going to not this. So this gives us the inverse of this. So if this does not contain at least 1 digit, it gives us the inverse, and then we're done with that. Here's a check 8 or more characters. Okay, so we're going to ensure that the length of the password is more than 8. Okay, we're going to ensure that it's more than 8. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if, this is straightforward, so if password dot length is less than 8, okay, we're going to be returning false. So if it is less than 8, return false, and then in returning false, we're going to print system.out.println. We're going to say password must be more than 8. Password must be more than 8 characters. Okay, so that's the error. And then to return false, we're going to say we're going to copy this, and then we're going to say password must, okay, password must contain 1, or password must contain 1 or more digits. Okay, Now, the hardest of them is to check upper and lowercase letters. So we have to ensure that the password at least contains uppercase. So if we confirm that again from the picture, it says upper and lowercase letters. It must have upper and lowercase letters. So we have to ensure that at least it has an uppercase and then it has a lowercase. Okay. So what we're going to do is that we're going to use a nested if statement. We're going to use if. And then we're going to use another if. So if character dot is uppercase, okay, if it's uppercase at this, okay, so if all right, so we're going to be needing the whole loop. So for okay, so I'll just copy this since it's invariably the same thing. Then I'm going to be copying the if statement. I'm going to have to move it inside the for loop. Excuse me. So if this is uppercase at this, and then we also want to ensure if it contains an uppercase, okay, and then not just containing an uppercase, also it has to contain a lowercase too. So according to it, upper and, so the two of them the password must contain an uppercase and lowercase letters. Okay, so in order to check for that, we have to say that if character dot uppercase password content character, okay, so it's just missing a closing brace, a closing bracket now, parenthesis. Right, so if character dot is, and then we're going to say return true, okay, and then here we're going to say it must also contain, it must also, it's lowercase now, okay. So we have to ensure that the two of them are present. So if it contains an uppercase and then it contains a lowercase, but now the problem with this is it must contain a lowercase first before containing an uppercase. So what we can do is to put an or statement here. Okay, so what we're going to do is to put an or statement. So I'll just get my on-screen keyboard, and then okay, so I'll just copy that out, and then I'll change this, okay, to is uppercase. Okay, so what I'm doing is that I will ensure that I put the opposite of the two. So if this is a lowercase, then this is uppercase, and then we have to also ensure, okay, I'll just copy this. Okay, so it's upper, and then this should be is lower. So if you understand what I'm saying, it must contain a lowercase or an uppercase, and an uppercase or a lowercase. Okay, so I think with this we can test our password. Let's test our password checker. Now before testing our password checker, we have to tell them the rules. Okay, so we're going to say password checker, and then we're going to say your password must contain the following. Okay, and then we're just going to use the next line characters. I'm just going to get out my screen keyboard, and let's put my cursor there, and then /n. And then one of the first thing, it must contain 8 characters, 8 or more characters. So this will be 8 or more characters. Okay, the next one would be upper and lowercase letters. So upper and lowercase letters. and then the next one would also be at least one number. Okay, all right, so let's run this and then we see what happens. So run as Java application. Again, 92%. I just wait a little while. Alright, so password checker. Your password must contain key. I don't like the way it's displaying, so I'll just move this back. Okay, so let's see what happens now. I'm just going to run it again. Excuse me. Alright, good. 8 or more characters, upper and lower case. So they should be lower, so I wouldn't rerun that, but then I'll just correct that. So if my password is rats, okay, so password must be more than 8 characters, and then password must contain one or more digits. Alright, so to make this informative, I should just put error here, and then I'll just copy this, and then if there's any way error, and then I think we did omit the error for this one. I think what we should have done is to impute an error that says system.out.println, and then say error first, password must contain, so according to the picture, lower and uppercase, so lower and upper case letters. Alright, so we'll run that again so everything can be in place. Okay, so upper and lower case. So if I enter loop, let's see what the error is. Password must be more than 8 characters. Password must contain one. So if I just enter anything without password, next. So if I enter T, error, password must be more than 8 characters, and then password must contain one or more digits. So if I enter a correct password, let's see, football. Okay, that's 44 football. Error, password must contain one or more digits. Okay, so if I enter football 2018, password must contain one or more digits. So there's something wrong with that, so let's check that method again. At least one digit. So if return false, right, so if I change this to true, okay, and then I just change this to false, so I'll run that again. If is digit now, okay, so this shouldn't be here, this should be here, since I've changed the statement. So if excuse me, if we at least have one digit, it should return true. So if I enter again football 2018, all right, then that didn't give us anything because the passwords are all correct. So what I will do here is, if you're out of the loop, okay, that means you're successful, and then I'll say password correct, okay, or I would say password valid. Then I would display the password, and then I'll just call this password. Alright, so I'll run that again, and then I would enter the same thing, so football 2018. Alright, password valid, football 2018. Alright, so one other thing that we can do to this is probably you can make it to ensure that it contains at least one uppercase. Okay, so you should contain at least an uppercase letter. You can check that to impute at least one uppercase letter. But then if we had an or, okay, if I have the same password must contain lower and uppercase letter. So You can keep doing this over and over again, or then you could give the user a quit key. Alright, so let me quickly do that. Then I would say I'll just copy this, which is too much. I'll just have to trim it. I would say, okay, I think this should be in the loop so that it always tells the user I'm going to quit. Okay, so I will just do this, and then I would say enter Q to quit. Okay, so if I do this, alright, and then I'll just paste it here, and then do while this is equals to this, or then I'll pick this, put this or, put it here, or password equals Q. Okay, since that's a string. Okay, so let's run that again. So this will be the last check. So if the user enters say enter a password, and he enters a timer. Alright, so we say enter Q to quit, and then after the user enters Q, password must be more than 8 characters, enter Q to quit. Okay, so do or okay, now this will return true on every statement. Okay, so see if we put this, and then turn this to an AND. Right, so let's see that again. 3. Wow, so that changed a lot of things. We would have to go to this, and then I'll definitely do another video to come up with the key, and then please do come and watch. We'll definitely find out why that's not working. I'm just sure that it has to do with the operator. So this is not right, so let's fix it so I don't look like a sissy. So let's fix it. The problem is if this is true to, okay, so and we return true if the two of them is true. Okay, so trim error, and then it was because of this it became a valid password input. Okay, so what we have to do now is we have to change this. Alright, so I know what to do. So we would remove this. Okay, and then enter Q to quit. So we're going to say if password equals Q, then we're going to break out of the loop. Alright, so let's run this again. So we're running that again. So we enter trim, and then on the next one we enter Q. If password is equals to Q. Oh, sorry, I will just put this if statement I had somewhere here. Okay, so if I should run this in the Java application, so I would enter trim and then Q. Password must be okay. So I don't know why this keeps on going on and on, but then thank you guys for watching. I'll definitely resolve the error in the next tutorial video. So thank you for watching. Do come back and watch some more, and God bless you. Alright guys, so I finally got it to work. So instead of enter Q to quit, I would say enter 0 to quit. Okay, so instead of this, find out that we would use password.equals. Alright, so we're going to enter the string here, so equals 0, and then if it equals 0 would break, and then another thing we have to do is to move this statement away from here. Okay, so if password.equals 0 break, alright, so I think this would work. Alright, so if we run this and then run as Java application, if you enter 0, alright, Okay, come let me find out where that is. Enter your password, enter 0 to quit. Okay, so this is wrong. This should be here, okay, as one of the hints. Alright, so we'll run. So run as Java application, and then once I enter 0, alright, so that quits. Okay, see the application is stopped. Alright, I could excuse me. Okay, so right here I can just say system.out.println and then say something like you quit. Okay, so if we run that again, so run as Java application, enter 0 to quit, 0 you quit. Now it's a little bit choked up, so you could work on it and then give it a little bit of spacing. Somewhere like here should just have a system dot a system.out.println, just a println statement, okay, that'll give it enough spacing in between. So if I run that again, alright, so enter. So it needs, we also need another one right here. Okay, so run a Java application. Alright, so a little bit more spaced up. Okay, so it's good to go now, so you can always tweak it as much as you like. So sorry for the long length of the video. Alright, so thank you for watching and God bless you.